Welcome to Lifestyles with Nick. I'm your host, and today we talk with Doug Quint, who was featured in Out Magazine as one of the Out 100 most influential people of 2013. Throughout their years living in New York City, Doug and his partner Bryan Petroff had always focused on their respective careers until they got themselves a big gay ice cream truck. Their sensational truck debuted in 2009, and since then, the business has seen a whirlwind of publicity and has become a New York favorite, with 2 stores now seen in the Big Apple. Hello, Doug. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I took a nap, and I still haven't quite woken up, so I'm chugging a little Diet Coke.
Well, I sure hope that does wake you up. And, I really wanted to talk with you about your feature in Out Magazine as you were named one of the Out 100 most influential people of 2013. Now, do you know why you were chosen for that?
I don't really know why we got it. I'm flattered, Bryan and I were both really sort of taken aback by it when they contacted us about the photo shoot. We had no idea that it was coming. We've talked to a couple of people at Out Magazine before, and they've given us a little press, but, that seems like the kind of thing that you would feel it coming, that there would have been, a longer conversation about it, but it just came out of the blue and hit us. Right?
Exactly. And, I've been looking through past years as well to kind of see who was in it. And most of them were huge actors. So,
yeah. And, looking at the list, it was mostly, really high-profile people. So for 2 guys who just own a couple of ice cream shops to be on it was a real treat,
Exactly. Definitely a treat in every in every aspect of the word.
I see what you're doing.
So how did you come up with the idea of the big gay ice cream truck?
You see, people say to us, "Oh, such brilliant marketing research," and you guys really saw a need or something. And that's just completely wrong. I just wanted to do a weird summer job. I was an orchestra musician up until the ice cream truck took over my life. I played the bassoon. And in high school, I always went to music camp or some orchestra festival in the summer, the same in college. And then for my professional life, I would go from music festival to music festival in the summer, or I would just sit around eating ramen because I didn't get a good festival job for the summer. So for 2009, for that summer, I decided I'm going to stay in New York City this summer and do some job that really is a summer job and something that screams New York City. So I didn't want to go work at a Barnes & Noble. I wanted to, work for an exterminator or something weird. And an ice cream truck presented itself to me through a friend who had started driving one part-time. She said, if you want to have an ice cream truck this summer, I'll line it up for you. And I thought, well, that's probably the weirdest thing I could ever do. So I decided I would do the ice cream truck. And Bryan said, well, all these ice cream trucks have exactly the same menu. They've never changed the thing. Let's put some new toppings on it. We did that. We came up with a new menu. And then we needed a name for the whole endeavor. And I couldn't think of anything. And neither could Bryan. And I wanted to start a Facebook group, to kind of rally my friends behind the idea. And since I didn't have a name for the truck or a name for the business or a name for the Facebook group, I just called the Facebook group Big Gay Ice Cream Truck. And that was just a placeholder, And now it's the name of the thing that we've quit our other lives for, and it now runs us pretty much.
Now, you guys moved out of the ice cream truck, correct, and into a shop?
Yeah. I'm actually buying my own ice cream truck finally. It was all the ice cream trucks I had access to were junkers. I mean, the worst of the worst. And that was fun for a while, but then it started to feel really limiting. It's a teeny little space in there. There's not really any kitchen, so you can't make new ideas while you're on the ice cream truck. And it got so popular that I would go out and just, make six different cones all day long, which is great, and I'm not complaining, but it started to stunt our development. So we needed a store. We needed a place where you could go and make ice cream and have a kitchen and even go to the bathroom if you wanted, which you can't do in a truck. So now we've got 2 shops. We have one that we're going to open in LA. That'll be the 3rd. And I'm going back into an ice cream truck soon, which that's still my favorite thing to do and the weirdest part of the job.
Well, I saw many of the photos of your shop, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful shop.
We have two shops, and they're very different. One is a small little East Village. It's a long galley. So you walk in. There's only room for about 10 people to stand. There's no seating. And then we have a big one in the West Village, which is, an ice cream parlor. So they're very different. They're very fun. And, it feels like having two kids. One goes to Harvard and one goes to Rhode Island School of Design or something, You're proud of them both, but they're so different.
Exactly. Now, what flavors do you carry, and what are some names of your ice cream?
Since we started on an ice cream truck, it was a soft serve truck that could only do vanilla and chocolate. So most of our cones are built on top of vanilla and chocolate soft serve. There's one called B. Arthur, mostly because it's golden. It's vanilla ice cream that our crew inject dulce de leche in and then roll it in crushed vanilla wafer cookies. We also do custom flavors. There's usually two going, things like brownie batter, speculoos, coffee, of course. But generally, there aren't more than 3 flavors in the shop. What we do is then make different combinations out of them, and add different toppings on. There's B. Arthur. There's a cone called American Globs, which was named in honor of Neil Gaiman's book, American Gods. That one is vanilla ice cream, vanilla soft serve that we smash pretzels into, then kind of reform the cone and put it all into chocolate dip. It's very, very dirty. There's a big cone called the Monday Sunday, which is in a waffle cone. We line it with Nutella, put in twist ice cream, caramel, sea salt, whipped cream. That one was called Monday Sunday because when I did it on the ice cream truck, Monday was the slowest day and the only day that I had time to make it. So it was, only on Mondays. And now it's all the time.
Now, you have also served up desserts at a politician's same-sex wedding, as well as A-lister affairs. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Well, actually, right now, we're not doing it. We catered a lot with the truck. Right now, I don't have access to a truck. And honestly, our growth right now is, Bryan and I like to go really, really slowly. We like to control everything, not lose track of what we're doing, and not sacrifice quality. So right now, we actually have suspended our catering and event stuff. We're only doing things that we've always done, like New York City Wine and Food Festival. It was getting unwieldy, and we're dying to get back to it, but not right now. But yeah, we catered Christine Quinn's wedding. We did a lot of movie shoots, things like that. And it's a hoot. I've taken an ice cream truck on a ferry. I doubt a lot of people have done that.
That is so cool. That is awesome.
I couldn't believe it. I was sitting in an ice cream truck on a boat over a river, and I thought, wow, this is not where I thought I would be right now. I thought I'd be sitting in an orchestra. And honestly, this is much more exciting to me.
Coming from wanting to be in a orchestra and now serving ice cream, how do you feel about that?
I think more than anything, I just always wanted to be a performer. And this job as an ice cream man, as an ice cream trucker especially, is sort of street theater. Whenever I went out in that ice cream truck, it was a long acting workshop for me. I mean, it was sincere. I wasn't faking it, but it really felt like I was performing for everyone. And I think that just filled whatever void would have been there from leaving music. I can't say that I miss it daily, but I will say that last year I went to hear the New York Philharmonic play also Sprach Zarathustra, and about 30 seconds into it, I was just sobbing in my seat, missing that part of my life. So sometimes it doesn't bug me a lot, but when it does, it's kind of overwhelming. It's like you think you're okay with that with someone's death. A couple of years later, you think you're finally negotiating it, and then something reminds you of them, and it's just a fresh wound again. So it comes and goes.
Well, do you get a lot of criticism? Have you gotten a lot of criticism about the company?
Very early on, I learned that when people write articles about you, you should go read what they write about you. But what you should never do is scroll down and read the comments. So, people that we like or people's opinions that we want to trust are generally not that critical of us. There have been some extreme right-wing or conservative groups that have just completely missed the point. They think this is the homosexual recruiting agenda, which is ridiculous. No, completely wrong. So a lot of the criticism that we get is so ill-founded that it's impossible to take seriously. I mean, we do get some criticism about the ice cream, occasionally, and we always take it seriously. But when people start talking about our political agenda, that's BS, because we don't have a political agenda.
You're just wanting to make ice cream.
We just want to make ice cream. I mean, the whole point is that we wanted to have an ice cream truck where everyone who came to it had a good time for the duration of that cone. I used to tell people, if they would walk up and got to the window on their phone, I would say, hang up your phone and just tell the person you'll call back as soon as you're done with your ice cream cone. I tried to be a bit of a therapist or just enforce the idea that ice cream is a fun food. And that's what we do at our stores, too. Our staff is, we work them hard to be, a great crew and to sort of emulate that standard, that everyone gets treated well and everyone has a great time and they enjoy life until that cone has disappeared.
Very cool. Now, do you get a lot of people coming in asking for the gayest ice cream ever?
Oh, God. I just wrote a blurb that is on a sign in the store that says, if you ask our staff, will the ice cream make me gay, they're allowed to give you a blank stare. We have heard that question so many times, and we used to try to make up an answer, because the person who says it thinks it's funny, but after you've heard it thousands of times, you can't even react anymore. Yeah, and sometimes people say, what do you put in it? And come on. The gay in the name was more the other meaning of gay, happy, We wanted the truck to be people's happy place. So, if we put something in the ice cream that makes you happy, I would be very, very proud of that.
Awesome. And what is your favorite item on the menu?
I don't like that question because it feels like, I'm trying to judge my kids. But the one that's the most popular and the most meaningful to me is the cone, the Salty Pimp, which is a vanilla ice cream cone injected with dulce de leche and sea salt, and then it all goes into chocolate dip. Because that was the first time we did something that really wasn't just dipping the cone in a thing or rolling it in some crunchy stuff. That's when it started to become more than just toppings. That's when we started to turn the ice cream into our own.
Interesting. And
yeah.
Are you working on any new recipes at this point?
Right now we're always working on new stuff, but we're not working on new stuff furiously right now because last year we wrote the manuscript for Big Gay Ice Cream book, and that involved, coming up with all sorts of new recipes, and I learned a lot doing that. But, right now what we're doing is that cookbook is home recipes, that you make in a home ice cream machine. So now one of our staff has been adapting a lot of them into soft serve to serve in the store. So are we working on new stuff? Always. Are we working on it as much as we were last year when we were writing that book? No, which is probably good.
Now, I have one last question for you, and I want to go back to Out Magazine a little bit. And what you talked a little bit about it already, but what was your reaction to being asked to be in Out Magazine?
Our reaction?
Yes.
We were just, like I said, we were completely shocked. We had no idea that it was coming, and of course, it was really flattering. And the high point of it is just that photo, because we're really proud of how we are portrayed in the photo that they ran. A lot of the photos were dark, sort of headshots of people. Ours is a long shot of us in our store, not in in a studio in front of a backdrop. We're in our store that we built, confetti in the air and our blow up unicorns around us. So I really liked the fact that the readers of Out Magazine, met us and not our headshots. I think that you can learn as much about us from that photo as you can from reading any article about us. So, it was a huge blast of exposure, and I think people were introduced to us the right way. I mean, boy, our Facebook group went up, 750 people as soon as that list came out. So I'm not complaining.
That's fantastic.
It was funny to read on Facebook. You guys should open in New York City. I just learned about you from the Out 100 list. You guys should open in New York City, which is funny because the article said we're in New York City, but also we've been here for 5 years and you're here too. Sometimes reading comprehension, I don't think, is a lot of people's strong point.
Exactly. I completely agree. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. I truly loved hearing about this because I was wondering, and I go to New York quite frequently as well, and so the next time I'm in the city, I will definitely stop by and say hi to you guys and have some of your ice cream.
I hope you do. And when you look at the menu, don't think too hard. People look at our menu and they start getting overwhelmed. There's a dozen different things. When you go to order ice cream or when you go to order pizza, you should look at until you find one that really grabs your eye and then stop. So you can go back again the next time. Have a different thing.
Exactly.
So don't be overwhelmed by our magnificence.
I'll try with the salty pimp first.
Yeah, that's always where you should start.
Exactly.
You got it. You can work for us.
Yes, I would love that. That would be fantastic.
All right, man.
All right. Well, thank you so much and happy Easter. And for you listeners, make sure that you tune in next time on Lifestyles of Nick, where I bring you the interviews that you want to hear. Have a great night and see you next time.